The Mint's Chief Executive, Lee Gordon, says it's a great opportunity to recognise Australian achievements.
It's very easy to focus on the athlete itself, I suppose, but to us it's more the broader principle of that commitment, the physical endeavour, the results, and the representation that we're trying to capture in there.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Elizabeth Tavern for knockoffs today. Happy hour 4 till 7. Selected pints and base spirits $6. Drink responsibly.
Port Adelaide captain Connor Rowey will miss tonight's match against Carlton at Adelaide Oval with an ankle injury, while Willie Rioli's also out with a calf injury. Jordan Sweet's been dropped from the side. Charlie Dixon, Ivan Soldo and Francis Evans come in. It will be game number 150 for Ryan Burton. The Crows head to Melbourne to play Hawthorn at the MCG on Saturday afternoon. The teams will be named tonight. Hawks coach Sam Mitchell says they still don't have a definitive timeline on when Mitch Lewis will make his return, as he continues to work his way back from a knee injury.
He trains some days and then he pulls up the next day fantastically well, and then sometimes he pulls up and he doesn't feel great the next day. So I think the medical team are feeling like they're going to have a more solid timeline in the next week. He's starting to move better. His last week has certainly been an improvement.
And round 13 in the NRL kicks off tonight at Parramatta, the Eels hosting the Sharks. Let's check FIVEAA traffic.
Reducing greenhouse gas emissions is critical in the production of SA copper. It's happening now at BHP.
Afternoon at Hackney, got a ute v motorcycle. North Terrace near to Catterwood Terrace, got some solid delays there. Smash in the city, Curry Street near Lee Street, and another smash at Salisbury Commercial Road near Kettering Road. Adelaide Oval, roads are closed around there. That's for the footy on tonight at War Memorial Drive, just near the footbridge, and Kim William Road. And got cameras Chief Street, Brompton, and Frederick Road at Seaton. The Harvey Norman clearance is on now. Shop TVs, fridges, laptops, furniture, bedding, barbecues and more. Best brands, best range, best price. Harvey Norman clearance on now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
And now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 11 tonight, showers, and 17 tomorrow. A possible early shower Saturday, 17. And for Sunday, sunny and 17. Right now it is 17 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
In your suburb.
Good evening from Port Adelaide.
Across your state.
A sombre scene here in Bordertown tonight.
9 News is covering the stories that matter to South Australians.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
South Australian parents urged to be extra vigilant.
Because your home is our home. Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is FIVEAA, always Adelaide. The FIVEAA Sports Show.
Get around the little fuck!
Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
It's a beauty!
Yeah, good afternoon on this Thursday. It's game day and we're live at the rain-covered Adelaide Oval. It might be a wetter edition of Thursday night football. Well, it remains to be seen. There's a really good build-up to this one as we cross to the ground. Rowey, Timmy G, good afternoon.
Oh, thank you, Sammy. Yeah, we're live at Adelaide Oval. Port take on Carlton, round 12. We are halfway mark of the year, or just a bit over. Oh, look, it promises to be a belter. A slight chance of rain. It'll be very slippery underfoot. Just walking in, you can see that. There'll be a slight west-norwesterly. I think, above all, it's going to be actually okay, as I welcome my co-commentator, Timmy G. Now, Timmy, if the Eagles are the Crows bunnies, Carlton are your bunnies.
Hey? How do you work that out? Have you got some numbers to prove that? Back that up?
Well, they just are. They just
Really?
are. Carlton has lost all 4 matches against Port at Adelaide Oval by an average of 76 points. 3 have been by over 90. That's a massive stat. They've never beaten Crows of Port at Adelaide Oval. They're at 0-7. The last win was in 2013, the last game at Amy Stadium.
Correct.
You would have called that game. Petrol was $1.50. Kevin Rudd was our Prime Minister, and your house was half the price it is now.
Yeah, that's
They are your bunnies.
Meow. What's up, Doc?
I just thought I'd
Love
put that
Bugsy. Love Bugsy. Yeah, they're damning stats, aren't
damning stats.
And it probably goes back to the point that there's not a lot of travel going on for Carlton in the season, is there?
Probably.
And they probably don't get up for those games.
No.
So Collingwood have done it well. They don't travel very often,
they
but when
don't.
they do it well. So that's
Yeah,
one
they
they
do.
need to polish up on.
Well, Carlton bring the heat, we know that. They love the contest. You have a look at all the numbers. They love the ground scramble is what they call it. So, Timmy, how do they win? And you're confident they can today?
Yeah, look, I think, and Campo, he comes in on the Tuesday, does coach's corners. He always attacks Port Adelaide for their contested possession and their loose ball gets. So that's something that Carlton are very good at. I think they're number 2 in the league. So for Port Adelaide to win, this is what I think we need to have happen tonight. That is Ollie Wines quells Cripps at stoppage.
Okay.
And I want to see Willem Drew take on Walsh. Now, Walsh is a classic 2 to 3 possession player where he'll give, run, go, kick, run again, and probably end up inside 50. So he's the guy that I think if Willem Drew stops at first stoppage and takes him to the turf, then that stops him doing the 2 and 3.
I think Jason Horne-Francis is with you. He had this to say about the midfield thanks to Channel 7.
I guess you could say Zach's a bit the same, and Ollie and Connor, I think, we spoke about it before, when we're going well, I know Ollie loves it, he says it to us all the time, he loves us getting into a bit of the nitty-gritty and a bit of the push and shove, and, Ollie I think he just knows that's when we're on, when we're doing a bit of that, and, we want to be an aggressive sort of team and be hard to play against, and I think if we can implement a little bit more of that into us, I think we'll be really tough to play against.
Some more in your face and aggression. You like that talk?
Yeah, pretty much.
I do.
I think it also, what that does is stimulate more contested possession, and that's something that they have to do against the better teams, and this is one of them. Because if you don't get that, you're going into a forward line with the reigning Coleman medalist and Harry Mackay. So you've got to be able to stop it.
Well, that's what Alira Lear spoke about. Curnow and Mackay, the 2 big key forwards. Have a listen.
There's going to be situations where you're going to be one-on-one and the ball's coming in, and I think you just have to find a way to either bring the ball down or just half a contest. I've been over 200 centimetres, so if you let him run and jump at it, I think no one can really stop him. And obviously Curnow is a freak of a nature, very athletic. Even when the ball's on the ground, you're going to have to be on.
That's thanks to Channel 9. I think a lot of it's going to be the smalls on the ground. Now, I think Rioli's a massive miss.
Yeah.
If he's not your best, the most creative and most electric small
forward.
Well,
up to last week, he was the leading goal kicker.
But there you go. And you haven't got Sam Powell-Pepper, who is that pressure forward. So that's 2 big outs down the other end. They have got a mosquito fleet. And I think it's going to be on the ground a bit, Timmy.
Yeah. Well, look at this weather. And you know what's been good since the rain stopped around lunchtime? We've had the breeze. We've had the breeze to dry
the ground
so
out.
I think that will take away a lot of that greasiness that you're talking about, and they should be able to handle it reasonably well.
I reckon Port by plenty.
Oh, really? Wow. I've got us by 17 points.
Okay. Well, they are your bunny.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to continue with that. Thank you, Doc.
What's up, Doc?
Thank you. Crows team lands today. We know that at 10-6. Likely to go in unchanged. There's been no injuries. Not a lot of people down belting, excuse me, belting down the door. What happened there? I think I turned into Bugs Bunny. I might have swallowed a carrot.
I think,
Timmy G. Here's Josh Rochelle on 5AA Brekkie.
We do, and that's what's been a big talk for us this week especially. We're making sure that we're going to try and end that run because it's a long time. I don't know what it is, 7 years, 7, 8 years. Yeah. So it's a long time, and we were struggling at Marvel as well up until probably this year and the year before. So yeah, it's something that we've got to get right, and we've played some good teams, and we've played Collingwood and Melbourne there the last couple of times, and we've lost by less than a goal. So we know our best footy's up to it. We've just got to, I think, especially against Hawthorn there, the last month there, contested ball numbers and clearances have been very high, so we're going to have to win at the source.
That was Josh Rochelle. He's talking about the G. The last win there was 2017. We know all the stats. Zip and 9 at the G in that time. Have Hawthorn, who, let's face it, are below them on the ladder. That's number one. Everyone's talking about their form line. They really have beaten no one, to be honest. They beat North, they beat St Kilda. Okay, Brisbane by 25, it's not a bad win. Smashed by Swans. Their form line's not as good as what everyone says. Has it improved? It has. And it's on the back of this bloke, Lloyd Meek. Guess who's out?
Lloyd Meek. That's a big loss.
That's a massive loss for that good young midfielder. Massive loss. So I think it's a must-win game. We know that. Can't lose for their top 8 aspirations is what I'm saying. You don't want to be chasing wins and relying on teams losing and being more than 2 games out of that top 8. So let's hope they do that well. If they match it in the midfield, I think that's the game. I believe the Crows back 6, the way they're playing as a team, probably gets it done against their forward 6. I mean, their forward 6, a lot of them are blooming old or defenders. I mean, who's going to kick their goals?
Well, Chol did it last week. Hardwick
5.
did it against Port the week before, 5. So they've been a bit inventive with
They have had to
getting
be.
haven't they?
They had to be. And then you look at the Crows front 6, they're doing very well. Have you say about that? 822 300 00. I think that if the Crows midfield don't get it done, it's going to be over, Timmy. That's where Rexy style.
Rexy.
They don't get it done in the midfield, it's Rexy style over.
I think they'll get it done in the midfield.
I
think
do.
they're
I'm confident.
They're very good at that area, so I don't think that'll be a problem. Enough supply into that forward line.
Rexy.
He's still going.
They've got to get it done. It's all about the midfield, and their season will be over if they lose. But I've got them winning by 17. How's that? The same margin you've got Port winning. Wouldn't that be funny if that happens? Mid-year draft, I call it a raid on the state leagues. Port selected Logan Evans, a Norwood junior. He missed the draft year, but Port swooped on him, as they tend to do. They're very, very good at that talent identification and recruiting under that Sample rookie program. Now Timmy's a good mover, halfback flanker. Yeah.
Excellent mover. Got time when he gets the ball, which I like, and quite clever the way he gets out of traffic and trouble. So kept an eye on him. Was fortunate enough to run in and meet his mother, actually, who was a very good netballer, Sheridan Abbott in her day, at Garble back in those halcyon days when they used to play contacts. So, she was in that era, but a very good sports person herself. So, but we had a good chat about why he had a tough year in year 12. He lost his granddad, he lost a mate at Norwood.
I know.
So he had a bit of a tough year, and of course, you're doing year 12 at the same time. So sometimes I always think things happen for a reason, and this has got him into the Sample rookie program. It's got him into 6 months of training with an AFL club, and it's got him drafted. So in the end,
he loves
it's worked out all right.
Yeah, look, we'll speak to him after 5:30, but here's young Logan.
I'm pretty stoked, over the moon. It was good to have all my mates and family there. It's not really a surprise, but just so grateful for the opportunity, just relief to hear my name called out.
Sounds like a quality kid. Yeah. Speak to him at 5:30. Crows landed young Toby Murray, brother of Nick. They'll play together in the Sample because Nick's come back from his ACL. How good's that?
How's the timing?
Here's Toby.
Yeah, it'll be pretty special. I don't think we've played together since we were 12 or 13 years old, so to play together in a league like this, I suppose, on this occasion, it'll be very special and something the family will look at very badly.
Yeah, he's 200 centimetres tall. He's a power forward that can go back. He's a bit of a swingman like his brother. Has a massive upside. I think it's a terrific pick. He's played 5 games in the Sample to kick 6 goals. And you might think, well, that's not all that good because sometimes he's up the ground and doing other roles, but he kicked 4 in one and 2 in the other. But I think it's a spectacular pick. His nickname's Ibis. I don't know why. Is that the Ibis Hotels? Well, like a big hotel.
Do you know what an ibis is?
No.
It's a bird.
Oh.
And they call them, nickname is bin chicken. You'd see them in Highmarsh Square. They've got those
Those
long
big
noses.
white ones. Oh,
yeah.
He's an ibis.
It's not.
So he's a scavenger. I
wouldn't say it was complimentary.
That's an awful nickname.
Yes.
That's an awful nickname. 2 other players from the Sample and a rack for Luke Beacon from the Eagles. He's off to Brisbane. They'll miss him, the Eagles, that run and dash. You put him in the state team, Timmy. Well done. And North's Kelsey Ripstra. Now, I had to Google him to work out what he'd done. He's a young lad. He's come through. He's I think they call him a pressure small forward. Clearly, the Bulldogs see something special in him, and we wish the young lad all the best. So really only 2 players from the Sample. So I'm going, it's going to cost grand finals. That is brilliant.
I think from the Eagles' point of view, they will definitely miss Luke Beacon. But you're right.
Only 2.
Having Toby and Logan picked up sort of doesn't affect the sides that are in the battle for the top 5.
No.
So it's only young Luke Beacon, who we do wish all the best. And he's been he's a quality lad who's been playing good footy that's getting better every year, so he deserves his opportunity.
Live at Adelaide Oval, it looks an absolute picture. The gates will open very, very shortly, or about 4:30, we're led to be told. Have your say. 822 300 00.
Yeah, plenty to come on the show tonight. We've got Caroline Wilson joining us at 5. We've got the Port Adelaide CEO in the commentary box with us, Matthew Richardson. Logan Evans, of course, will join us, new to the Port Adelaide Footy Club as a mid-season draftee. We'll chat to the Matildas ahead of tomorrow night's game. And we've got Crows team selection at 10 to 6 tonight. Your calls, is it confidence or apprehension? Port Adelaide fans ahead of the Blues tonight, 822 300 00. Your calls after the break. It's 19 after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
The Adelaide Hills is known for thriving treescapes, and Balhanna Nurseries have spread that hills vibrancy to backyards across Adelaide since 1887. Top quality Balhanna Nurseries fruit, ornamental and old favourite trees bring gardens to life far and wide. Ask for Balhanna Nurseries at your local garden centre and take a piece of the hills home.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
Hi, it's Jane Riley. Fashion is a passion for me, but keeping up with trends that last 5 minutes is exhausting. If you prefer classic styles that never go out of date, go where I go, Sydney Street. For 35 years, this iconic SA fashion store has helped mums and daughters find their timeless style, and with over 60 quality brands on their racks, finding your fit is effortless. See the new stock at Sydney Street on Unley Road. Shop online at sydneystreet.com.au.
Guessing your pick from a deck of cards is tricky. Awkward social situations, also tricky. Finding the perfect Volkswagen? Easy at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year sale. You can get first pick on a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options. On-site finance and next day servicing. Get an end of financial year deal early. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
You know what? Electric vehicles are incredible. So if you own one or you're thinking about buying one, it's definitely a great move, I agree. What's not so great is running out of bloomin' charge or driving around town, all the burbs, praying you can find a charge station before you run out or before you rush. Well, there's nothing worse than running out of juice.
Yeah, stopping in the middle of the
Yeah,
road.
there
You
is
don't
no
need
juice.
that. And that's why this is what you've got to do. Get in touch with BC EV Chargers. Now, they're fully qualified electricians. BC EV Chargers specialise in all makes of electric vehicle charging systems because they're not all the same. And because no two systems are the same, they're happy to discuss the best system for your situation. You know, where you live, how you're going to charge, all the rest of it. And they're certified experts in the field of electric field charging. Now, they work with brands like ChargeFox and RAA. I mean, they're huge names.
Well, they're massive ticks. So if you drive an electric vehicle, they're calling them EVs, the message is quite simple. Charge at home and you're free to roam.
Woohoo!
With BC EV Chargers, visit bcevchargers.com.au.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. When you buy a Leader computer, you're buying a computer made in Adelaide. You're dealing with people that live in Adelaide. And when it comes to servicing or support, it all happens in Adelaide. Not overseas, not interstate. Leader don't have to send anything off for repair. They take care of everything here. So grow your business and get behind a Leader. Leader Computers, find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
At MYOB, we're the OG at making tax time easy. From automating admin to pinging payment reminders for you, MYOB has everything in one place to make sure you're always ready. Because nothing beats the OG at tax time.
It's Milton from Vidulas Garden Centre. After 64 years, Vidulas Garden Centre is closing its doors. With huge savings on all stock, now is the best time to come in and grab a bargain. Plants, pots, fertilisers and tools, gifts, homewares and outdoor furniture. It's all got to go. First in, best dressed. Vidulas Garden Centre's closing down sale. On now while stocks last. Main North Road, Gawler, opposite the racecourse.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back at 23 minutes after 4. We're live at Adelaide Oval for Thursday night football. Port Adelaide and Carlton. Port fans, give us a call. Is it confidence or is it apprehension ahead of the Blues game tonight? Love your calls. We'll get straight to them after we check your traffic out there. For Rossdale Homes, the custom home 2-story and split-level specialists.
Afternoon at Croydon, breakdown to look out for on the north-south motorway near Hawker Street. Hawthorn Dean, a crash there, main road near Sturt Avenue. And another praying in the city, Curry Street near Lee Streets. Adelaide Oval, roads closer in there for the footy tonight. That's War Memorial Drive near the footbridge and between King William Road, Camera Angle Vale Road and Evanston Gardens. The Audi end of financial year event is here. Receive reductions equal to the amount of GST on the manufacturer's recommended list price across a wide range of Audi models. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Got a unique home-style food text. We're live at Adelaide Oval. The kids are out there just doing a bit of a warm-up and a rehearsal. So it's NAIDOC week?
Yeah, Aboriginal Power Cup, which is a program run by Port Adelaide, which gets all the kids together. They get the opportunity to play sport all week, and then they come here for a bit of a presentation, but also a song and dance that will happen pre-game. Yeah, and to reward for attendance and then for passing the curriculum.
That is fantastic. One of Paulie Vandenberg's
yes, he started that up
legacies,
years ago.
No question.
Bit of a legend.
Hey, Dave, before we go to you, I've got to read this one out. Phil, thank you, because I said I haven't heard a lot about Kelsey. You need to interview Kelsey. His story needs to be told. One of great courage and strength. He broke his leg so badly in a game, the game had to be abandoned. And he was told he would never, ever play footy again. Please interview him. It's about everyone's journey, not just Power and Crows. Phil, that is great. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We're going to put a request in now.
Correct.
Because that...
Would absolutely.
I didn't know anything. His name come up, and I scrolled through the sample to see if he's played a handful of games.
He's only about 170 centimetres.
He's tiny.
Must have some toe about him. We'll get on to it, Phil. Thanks for that. Let's go to the phones. Oh, David Alberton. G'day, Dave. I was quoting you last night.
Oh, g'day, fellas. It was probably rubbish that you were quoting.
No, I liked it a lot, Dave.
No, I thought quality rubbish, Dave.
Well, good. Hey, it was relating to the free kicks tonight. Little bit slippery, couple of sides with some inside balls. What's your line for the free kicks, over or under 40?
Well, let me tell you this. There will be more free kicks paid for holding the ball, for dropping the ball, incorrect disposal. I reckon they'll be red hot in it today.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over 40.
Yep.
Agreed. Yep, I reckon well over that. And good luck to the first bloke that goes in and gets the first hard ball, because he's got about half a second to do anything with it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There will be a correction, Tim.
Well, and it's funny because I think Hardwick during the week said, look, we had in this particular game, we had 100 tackles and there was only 4 holding the balls paid. I reckon that's going to be more like 14, 15. Yeah. So we're going to see the whistle blown a lot more. On that very subject matter, there was on the podcast Footy Talk, which is Nick Revolt, he had a listen to what Steve McBurney, the new umpires coach, had to say, and then he responded. Have a listen.
Well, we can't judge what the player's thinking. We can't be mind readers, but we need to judge the action. And the action had the effect of delaying the restart of play. And the umpire deemed that was time wasting and paid a correct free kick in the circumstances.
So what was time wasting the player's intent? And the answer from the person that's running the umpiring department has said that, well, we're not mind readers, so we can't judge intent. All we can do is judge the action. Even when they're trying to explain inconsistencies within decision making, they're being inconsistent, because we have a rule which is called insufficient intent in our game, where we are asking the umpires to judge intent. So they can't judge intent when it comes to time wasting like that situation, but guess what? They can judge intent when they're officiating insufficient intent.
It is just ludicrous,
that's a great example, but
it is.
You know what simply cleans that up straight away?
Take out intent.
No, well, last disposal out of bounds. Gets rid of it all together, and then they can go back to what Steve McBurney was saying at the beginning, and that is, we'll just judge the action. Now, Steve McBurney on AFL 360 was actually asked about, will there be an overcorrection, which is what Dave just rang up about. Have a listen.
So there's always the risk that we won't get the timing perfectly right, but it's well understood by our umpires. We had a great training session last night run by Michael Jennings, observed by the All-Australian selection panel, interestingly enough. And we're confident the umpires understand what this clarification requires. It's just a shortening of reasonable time, nothing else.
Yeah, no, you don't. You get it wrong. Hello, John.
G'day, fellas. How are you?
Hey, John.
Johnny.
Mate, tonight Port Adelaide by about 12 points. Closer game. Something you were talking about last night. I think I just don't understand, having been involved with football a long time. How do they not get pinged for throwing? How do they encroach on the ground like they do? I don't think the umpire watches the mark half the time. But most of all, boys, I was fortunate, first time in my life, to go to 5 countries in 5 weeks. And I was listening to you in 5 countries. And
wow.
It was quite interesting because I was in a place called Lama Bay in Hong Kong, Lama Island, sitting with some expats who I just randomly met. And when the Crows game finished how it did, these people were listening and they were going, that man's extremely passionate, isn't he? And, of course, he was talking about yours truly, Stephen Rowe. And I said, that's our sport. I said, it's a fantastic sport, but we're all very passionate. So I just wanted to share that with you, boys.
Great,
well done, Johnny.
great, Johnny. That's it. Well, it is a passionate game. Yeah. This is...
And you're now a seasoned traveller.
I went to 5 countries in
5
days.
countries without even trying. Well done, yeah.
Isn't that impressive?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Johnny is right in the running there for our $50 Powers voucher. We love that. 8223 0000. Keep your calls coming. Got the headlines here. And then Rowey's going to go through the Crows game against the Hawks on Saturday. A bit of a preview.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Kerry Turner with the latest news headlines. A man whose dog mauled a little boy at Pennington yesterday is yet to be located by authorities. David Koch has defended his appointment as South Australia's new Tourism Commission chair, even though he lives in Sydney. Adelaide's dry spell has officially been broken. 10 millimetres has been recorded at West Terrace today. And in sport, Aussies Alex de Minaur and Thanasi Kokkinakis are in action at the French Open tonight. Let's check 5AA traffic.
G'day there. Breakdowns to look out for a Croydon north-south motorway near Hawker Street. Hawthorn, a crash Main Road near Sturt Avenue. Another smash in the city. Curry Street near Lee Street. And in Adelaide Oval, roads closed for the footy tonight. That's on Walmer Drive between the Riverbank Footbridge and King William Road. Cameras, Hanson Road, Wingfield and Port Wakefield Road at 2 Wells. This May, Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals with 15 stores located in Adelaide. They'll look after you. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And the 5AA forecast down to 11 tonight with a late evening shower or 2. Showers again tomorrow, a top of 17. Right now it is 17 degrees. More news at 5 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodies. 5AA Breakfast.
People who commit crimes whilst in Australia from other countries, essentially.
Now, this is the key problem. What's happening is that these scumbags, it shows that some of these judges are just total soft-touch hand-wringers who'll buy any old BS sob story, up to and including the insanely violent Sudanese man who now identifies as an Aboriginal.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
It's a total moral indictment.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem event must end tomorrow. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. But it absolutely must end tomorrow. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Moving parcels, big and small, Aussie Fast can take them all.
Fast and reliable freight, logistics and courier solutions for businesses across Australia. Aussie Fast, proudly South Australian owned and operated for over 30 years. Aussie Fast offer prompt, reliable and on-time delivery. From interstate line haulage to local couriers and distribution, plus a huge, secure, fully monitored warehouse. All your freight right to your door. Call 13 13 64.
Foodland stores, they're local. They're independently owned supermarkets with over 90 stores across SA. They are indeed the mighty South Aussies, passionate about providing great food and all your favourite brands, along with some of the best supermarket experiences in the world.
Yeah, I actually, to pep myself up a bit, I just go and walk into a Foodland and just walk around. It just makes me come out the other side feeling so much better because they're passionate about what they provide their customers. Brilliant. They have fresh local produce. The groceries are outstanding with competitive prices. Great value lives at Foodland. So don't forget, check your letterbox every week for the catalogue. And if not, why don't you get it straight into your inbox? It's easy. Just sign up online.
Done. Do it. When fresh really counts, and it does, great food lives at Foodland. They are truly the mighty South Aussies.
Yeah.
And who'd you get your car loan with again?
Combank.
Pit stop finance time!
They're fast.
What do you mean they're fast?
Like super fast.
Like how fast?
When you apply online, they respond in 60 seconds.
Plus the low rate.
Plus, discounted rates on EVs and hybrids.
Oh, that's even better.
All from Australia's biggest bank.
Go, go, go!
Search CommBank car loans. Application subject to credit approval. Lending criteria and conditions apply.
I love my AFL on KO.
Isaac Quaynor.
Yes, Brownie?
More enthusiasm. KO is every game of every round live with no ad breaks in play. Let's try again.
KO, get on board.
That's better.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back at 26 minutes to 5. We're live at Adelaide Oval, building up to Port Adelaide and Carlton tonight on 5AA Thursday night footy. Caro's going to join us after 5 o'clock, and very soon Port Adelaide CEO Matthew Richardson will join us in the commentary box.
Well, we're live at Adelaide Oval. The gates are open. Some people have come out. The rehearsals are sensational, aren't they?
Yes.
You bumped into a little kid on his way in. He was as nervous as anything.
I said, "How you going, buddy? What's going on?" He said, "I'm dancing before the crowd, before the game." I said, "Oh, yeah, and how you feeling?" He said, "Oh, I'm nervous." And I said, "You'll be right, mate. That just means you're ready to go. You'll be right." Gave a Jack talk.
And it means he cares, which is great. Perfect weather in the end. I reckon that breeze is dropping off. They said it was going to be a west-norwesterly.
Just starting to drop
and that
away.
means it's not a prevailing wind, so it's probably going to be just across the goal. It has dried out. It's not going to rain. Game on.
Your fisherman skills come in sometimes.
They do.
Very handy.
They do.
Very handy. Well played.
Really.
What about your boys, mate? They got the Hawks. It's a big challenge.
Yeah, it is. They have, it's a simply must-win game. And I've been saying this probably for the last 4 or 5 wins. It's against Hawthorn. It's on the MCG. It is Saturday, Arvo. Just got a text come through. It's on delay, this game.
Okay.
And this lad
on
from
the TV, right.
Black Forest, Pete, is saying a lot of us can afford pay TV. Why is it on delay again? Pete, we said get used to it. That's what's going to happen. Look, it's a big game and it's not lost on Coach Matthew Nicks. Have a listen.
We really want this one. We understand what a win will mean for us just as far as our season goes. And if you look at how the ladder's shaping up, there is beginning to become a little bit of a gap there from the top and possibly what will be the bottom. So we've got a choice to make whether we want to stay connected to that top group.
Well, that's true. It's a must-win. It's at the MCG. We've gone through all of that at the start of the show. I was told the Hawks are flying. We had Jimmy Bartell on. Oh, that's a stock I want to buy is the midfield and all this sort of... So I thought I'd look at a block of work. I like looking at a block of work.
Yeah.
So let's look at their last 4 weeks, because the Crows' last 4 weeks with a win against Port has been outstanding. So this is Hawthorn. Had a really solid win against Brisbane. But Brisbane stink. They're gone, done, put a fork in it.
Right.
Still a good win. No, but they aren't.
Yep, I'm with you.
just working backwards from last week. They lost to Port. Now, in the wet first 3 quarters, well, you're right. It was a miracle win. Could have won, should have won, all that sort of stuff. For their last quarter was simply awful. They limped the win over St Kilda. Everyone beats St Kilda. They had a 7-point win against the Bulldogs. I mean, honestly, a 7-point win against the Bulldogs,
Bullies have picked up since then.
Absolutely annihilated by the Swans. Annihilated. And beat North. I mean, everyone beats North. They're everyone's bunny. So when you look at that, you go, well, are they really doing that well? Now, the numbers against that can be inflated. Midfield numbers, scramble numbers, loose ball numbers, because they've had a couple of wins. So let's not get caught too much up in that. And the key to all of that was a bloke called Leake, who's their ruckman.
Meek. Lloyd Meek.
Meek. I got the Meek, who's actually out. That's a massive out.
You put your L's where your M should be.
Yeah, well, that's the dyslexia coming in.
But you're right. That makes a massive difference to them.
It is, and it's at the MCG. It's against Hawthorn. Matty Nick spoke about that.
The ground ball for them is extremely strong. We're going to have our work cut out for us. We know that. Hawthorn have got, as you mentioned, a real block of form. So we know we're going to have a big challenge this weekend, and we're playing at a venue also that we haven't, had the best of record at. We love playing there, but we haven't had an outcome that we've been pleased with. So we're really keen to go over there and give it our best crack.
See, negative. No, Hawthorn aren't playing that well. Yeah, they're good. Acknowledge that. Your record, well, okay. If you look at the numbers, you've lost your last 9. But, God, they've lost 3 by less than a kick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can, I'd rather it be a little bit more positive. Fellas, you're one man that you say you must win, and then, oh, God, we haven't won at the MCG and Hawthorn in good form. No, nick off. Jimmy Bartell's with Nixie about that scramble, the loose ball when you get it outside of the midfield. Very important ball, that one. You can win the first one, but what do you do with it? Have a listen to Jimmy Bartell.
They can hurt you, Hawthorn, especially spread from stoppage. So the Crows will have to be wary of that. If you stay stuck at the stoppage, the Hawthorn's the number one side, especially in the last 4 weeks, about getting ground balls after the stoppage so they can get you on the outside.
Well, I'm going to mention some names. And look, he's right. And the last 4 weeks, that last block of work, not bad. Newcombe, Moore, Nash, Warple, Day. I mean, are they Dawson, Laird?
No.
Crow?
But their names,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Their names weren't like Horn Francis,
no.
Butters and all that, but
that's a good point.
They took them to the cleaners, didn't they?
You got me there.
But
That's a good point.
But with Meek, you keep coming back to that point, and I think it's a valid one.
Gives them first lick of that ice cream. That was all backed up by Josh Rochelle on 5AA Brekkie.
Yeah, they've changed a lot from the year before. They were a lot more of a ball kind of possessive team who like to kick mark a lot, but now they're going a lot more direct. Their midfielders are good. Warple and Newcombe are having good seasons. So our big thing for us, as I mentioned before, is just going to be our midfield work, winning at the clearance and being clinical down forward again, I think.
Our guys love talking the opposition up. I'm more like Jack. I'd rather talk us up. I'll go through their forward line. This is their forward line. Now, our back six has been a strength this year. How good's it been? No, really, it's been for a young group.
Very good.
Let me go through their forward line. Gunston, he's an old man. Done. Put a fork in him. Ginnivan, he ducks his head. Ducks.
Can kick goals.
Shoal, 1 game wonder. Blind squirrel, nut, you heard that story?
I have.
Kick 5, I get that. Who's the other one? Hardwick against you, kick 5.5. I mean, honestly, it's a 150-game defender. Who is going to kick their goals?
Yeah.
That's how I'd be going.
Who would?
And then you go down our end. I know Rankin's not there, that's a big one, but you go down our end, 13 different goal kickers last week.
Who would you put on? Sorry, who would you match Michael Lanny up on in that group?
He could take all of them.
I know he could take all of them, but who are you putting him on?
Well, he's probably going to go to Ginnivan,
I think so too. Yeah,
and he's got good discipline.
I think he's the most dangerous out of the smalls that could kick a goal.
That's spot on. Now, I've looked at the weather again. My fishing comes in too.
Yes,
it is going to be wet. This is at the MCG. This is Saturday afternoon. It's going to be windy. So I think the team, it's not about the greatest desire. The team that can go harder for longer with their game of bringing the heat will win this game. Now I've tipped them by 17 points. I'm not really bullish, but I'm quietly confident that our best is better than theirs because in the 3 phases, forward, mid, back, I think the Crows have a slight edge.
So really,
go the Crows.
But they've lost Meek, which makes a big difference to their...
Pendulum, swung.
Correct. And then you've lost Rankin, which has probably been
our star.
Your classiest player through the midfield as he's been getting more minutes. So I would understand that that's almost... You say a 1-for-1 or just the depth-wise, you guys
across
cover
the board.
Off more.
Well, dare I say it, and Margaret will be listening, dare I say this, the team with the most poise and the most class with ball in hand
skill level
will win this game.
Okay.
And I think Hawthorn, a bit like the Crows, are a little bit classless.
Righty. All right, we'll go to the phones. We'll go to Hillbank. G'day, Brett.
Sorry, Margaret.
Yeah, g'day, boys. Look, I was almost dumbfounded last night when I was watching Footy Classified.
Yeah.
When I heard about the umpires being coached during the game by the umpires coach, in every game that is, and half of the AFL coaches didn't even know this was going on. Now, the first point I want to make is that apparently he's there to give the umpires encouragement, right? Now, what was happening last year when... You know, if he's sitting up there and the goal umpires, apparently goal umpires are mic'd up as well, if the Crows kick a goal that was called a point, the ball's going back to the centre. What's wrong with the umpires coach going up there going, hey, listen, I reckon we might want to check that one. That wasn't given a review. How about we review that one? Let's not bounce the ball. Let's stop the game for a couple of seconds just to have a look at this. Yeah. What is wrong?
I know what you're saying, Brett. Yeah, thanks, Brett. Sorry we have to cut you off. We've got a very important guest that's just walked into our 5AA commentary box, the CEO of Port Adelaide. But I just want to get some validity on this. Who broke this story?
Your friend.
Scoopity-doo.
Yes.
I want to get a little bit of...
Sam McClure.
The quiff, the bloke that wears the Italian skews and the... Yeah, Harry
anyway,
High
yes,
pants,
he
that
did
bloke.
break the story.
Well, he did, yeah. So can we just get confirmation from the AFL that it does actually happen?
We haven't had that as yet.
Okay. Richo next.
All right, we are about to get to a break and more of your calls and Matthew Richardson shortly. 822 300 00. Let's check your traffic with more stores close to home and everyday low prices. Great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
At Croydon, a breakdown to look out for. North-south motorway near Hawker Street, a crash at Hawthorn Dean, Main Road near Sturt Avenue. In the city, another bingle, Curry Street near Lee Street, and another prank at Virginia, Anglevale Road near Old Port Wakefield Road. At the Adelaide Oval, all roads are closed for the footy tonight. That's War Memorial Drive between the Footbridge and King William Road. And look out for a camera tonight, Frederick Road at Seaton. It's the end of financial year. MY24 Volkswagen Amarok Core Auto from 57,490 drive away with free 5-year care plan. Ends June 30. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
You've heard of the Carolert Smart Dialer, a family-run business right here in SA. This device is the perfect way to provide your family with peace of mind and protect loved ones should an accident or illness occur. Over 100,000 people enjoy peace of mind with a Carolert Smart Dialer.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
The Lordman and Pank sale is now on with up to 50% off frame and lenses. Offer ends June 16 or while stock lasts. T's and C's apply. See website for details. Book an eye test today. All health funds are accepted. Lordman and Pank. We care for eyes.
Guessing your pick from a deck of cards is tricky. Awkward social situations, also tricky. Finding the perfect Volkswagen? Easy at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year sale. You can get first pick on a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options. On-site finance and next day servicing. Get an end of financial year deal early. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
It's a Barnacle Bill for seafood and much, much more. At Barnacle Bill, tackling lunch and tea, look, it's a breeze with big tasty feeds, and you won't believe it till you see them with your own eyes, Timmy.
Called in the other night and I had a look at the board. Delicious prawns, fish, calamari, scallops, spring rolls, chips, salads, complemented by Barnacle Bill's famous tartare sauce. And if you need a sweet treat, well, old Barnacle Bill's got you covered there too. Desserts like jelly, gelato, mousse, and pineapple fritters.
Did you notice there were no cockles in that menu?
Not one.
Yeah. I've got a hankering for a burger. Well, that is fine. Try the Barnacle Bill burgers and schnitzel with vegan options, or even get a veggie burger.
Saw one come out the other night. Looks sensational. Now, look, reel in your crew for some fish from the sea. It's got to be Barnacle Bill's SA-owned franchise serving South Australians quality seafood for over 50 years.
Come on, do it.
All right.
No, come on, do it.
Well, if it's going to be seafood, it's got to be Barnacle Bills for seafood.
The Milwaukee Tax Time Sale at Toolkit Depot. Get double your member discount on everything Milwaukee for TKD Trade and Club members. Plus, awesome Milwaukee deals. 3 days only, May 30th to June 1st. In-store and online at Toolkit Depot. Everything you need to get the job done.
Good health is contagious. And at Bupa, we're helping our almost 4 million members live healthier. Join Bupa for award-winning health insurance and feel good health catch on.
G'day, it's Rory Sloane. Good leaders always look to support local. Like Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer, based right here in South Australia. Having a world-class manufacturer of computers is a big win for our state, providing jobs and local support you simply can't get from overseas companies. For the latest Intel and Microsoft-based computers at great pricing with the huge benefit of local support, find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
Don't miss your flight. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery's early bird deadline is tomorrow. 3 lucky families will win 7 nights in London, 7 nights in Paris, and 7 nights in Rome. Or choose $100,000 in cash. Plus, your tickets stay in more than 11,000 draws, including 2 grand prize homes. Early bird deadline, midnight tomorrow. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14548.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back at 12 minutes to 5. Caroline Wilson isn't far away. She'll join us after 5 o'clock, but we're live at Adelaide Oval for tonight's blockbuster Thursday night football.
Correct. Port Adelaide taking on Carlton, 7 p.m. We have the Port Adelaide CEO in the box with us. G'day, Richo. How are you, mate?
Good, Timmy.
That's the way. Now, firstly, Matthew Richardson, yes, correct.
Yeah, come on.
I should have got, yeah, you're right. I should have got the formal positioning right before we go. The CEO of the Port Adelaide Football Club, Matthew Richardson, welcome.
Okay.
Not with that voice. That wasn't even a Port voice.
That was very ABC, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah, won't do that
try again.
Now,
You're
Richo,
wasting time, mate.
Richo, Aboriginal Power Cup. I just saw the kids out there practicing.
Yeah, good.
Just give us an idea of what the program actually does and how it brings all the kids together.
Yeah, it's 18th year, Santos Aboriginal Power Cup, nearly 700 kids involved in that program. It started as a program to drive school attendance. So 18 years ago, Year 12 school completion in South Australia was something like less than 20%. In the 75 schools that program runs now in South Australia, Year 12 completion is over 95%. So you think about the impact that's having on young Indigenous people's lives. Now it's actually moving into employment pathways and also education. And the thing that we're really excited about is the curriculum in Northern Territory is exactly the same as South Australia. So we're doing a pilot program, and for the first time ever, we've got 2 schools that have come in one from Rowey, which is 400 k's west of Darwin.
Right.
Most of those kids have never been outside of their community, so imagine the experience they've had the last 3 days down here, and also a Catholic school from Alice. So thanks to Santos and our partners, we've been able to make that happen, and it's a program we're really proud of.
Yeah, they'll be excited tonight going out there. Unfortunately, we won't have any rain, so it'll be a full-on display. The kids will absolutely love that. Hey, mate, you guys have had a fair bit going on the agenda, I'd say, off-field, and one of the main ones is the second-tier comp. Now, we've had Jimmy Bartel on the show. We've had a grab from Brad Scott, who was on AFL 360. Bartel described it as AFL House a bit glacial in their movements. Brad Scott said, you've got to understand there's not really a sense of urgency inside AFL House compared to Clubland. Now, on this very matter that has been bubbling along for a few years now, it doesn't seem like it's moving at all. We had Caroline Wilson on a couple of weeks ago who said, no, it won't happen next year. Now, that came as a bit of a shock to me. How is your approach been to the AFL about getting this second tier comp happening? As we know, it's only 4 clubs that aren't involved, and that's our 2 and WA's 2.
Yeah, so I think I'll go back to not right at the start, but at the start of the year, you'll remember that the AFL were going around meeting with all the clubs, all the clubs' football teams.
Yeah, Andrew Dillon came to town,
That's
Laura
right.
Kane.
And there was terrific engagement, and all under the agenda of competitive balance. There's a whole lot of issues across the competition, whether it be AFL reserves, second tier, NGA, draft concessions, all those types of things. So really good conversation, and I think what we're feeling across the competition at the moment is probably just some frustration that there's great engagement, some really good conversations, and it feels like that has just stalled a little bit. But look, yeah, it's from our perspective, obviously second tier AFL reserves is a really big one. As you said, there are 4 clubs now that are operating in a different system to the other 14 clubs, and competitive balance is all about. We've got a whole lot of inequities across the competition, and we understand that, but our ability to be able to develop our talent is compromised. And I'll take that a step further. If you think about why is that important in South Australia, the 2 AFL clubs drive the economy here at Adelaide Oval. We fill it up. So we need the AFL clubs here in South Australia to be really competitive in a really competitive AFL comp, because the money that flows from Adelaide Oval, that money flows back into community footy, back into SANFL. So our concern is that at the moment we've got a situation where we're not able to develop our talent in the same way that 14 other clubs can develop their talent. Now that might be okay right now, but our big concern is that in 2, 3, 4 years' time, that's going to create an issue not only for us but also for South Australian footy.
Laura Kane was quoted, we have to make sure that we respect that SANFL history as we look at what the best development pathway is for our clubs. Where's that comment come from, firstly? And there's already 14 clubs in a comp, bar the other 4. I'm a bit confused by that statement.
Yeah, look, I mean, I haven't seen that, Tim, but you know, absolutely, we need to respect the SANFL, and you know, Port Adelaide, we're a foundation club of the SANFL. We came from there, so we respect that. But I think the other part of that comment was also that we need to make sure that all AFL and all AFLW players have the same opportunity and the same development model. So at the moment, we don't have that. And also, probably the structure that we've got in the SANFL at the moment is not respectful of the SANFL, because if you're playing Port Adelaide, the strength of the Port Adelaide team is dependent on, it's overly dependent on injury. Now, the issue we've got at the moment, we've actually got injuries in our SNFL players and or the fixture. So again, the situation last weekend, we're playing down in Tassie, we're playing at the same time, which means we've got 3 players held out that ordinarily would be playing in that team. Now, that's not respecting the SANFL. Yeah, no, it's a good point. Your SANFL licence expires, I'm led to believe, in 2028. So how can you exit that, and at what cost? Well, that's a conversation that we are having with the AFL, and as I said earlier, we were having some really positive conversations with the AFL around what that might look like, because this isn't just about Adelaide and Port Adelaide, it is also about the SANFL. But yeah, we're still really strong that we need to do what's best for our footy club in order to develop our talent in the best possible way. And we're still very strong on the fact that the best way to be able to do that is not with the current restrictions. I'll give you another really good example. Hamish Hartlett played 250 games for Port Adelaide in the AFL. Hamish had to go and play at West Adelaide because the rules didn't allow him to be a development coach and play at Port Adelaide. So just some examples, but yeah, we're still very strong on that. Our strong preference would be to not be in the SNFL in 2025. As of next year, so I'm led to believe via the licence agreement, you've got to give the SANFL a 12 months notice of your exit. That's not true? No, that's not true. So you can leave next year? No, there is a licence agreement that says that we will be part of the SNFL until that licence agreement ends in 2028. The 12-month notice is the SANFL's right. We don't have that right as that agreement sits. So the only way that happens is by negotiation with the AFL. Hey, one of the probably the blockages that the AFL are talking about is the cost. So they're saying it would be extreme and would likely require the AFL to organise charter flights with Virgin, so clubs could travel across the country on one plane. How big a cost are we talking there? And I would think it's the classic, we could bring back the good old-fashioned curtain raiser. Yeah, look, you know, again, there's a few things to that. One is, you know, we're talking about the AFL competition here. The AFL competition is one of the biggest, strongest professional sports leagues in the world. Not-for-profit organisation, is that right? In the world. And if you were sitting here right now and designing what the structure of football would be, you would absolutely have a second-tier structure for your AFL clubs. So first and foremost, we should be doing... If you were starting from scratch, that's right. What you would do. Well, you wouldn't have 10 teams in Melbourne either. There's a lot of things you wouldn't. You wouldn't have academies in the northern states. I think the northern academies is the bigger. Well, it's another... What would you say? It's another discussion. Would you like to develop a kid here, one of the real good kids, or a number of them, from the age of 12? Yes, we would. Well, and get first lick at that when he comes available for a draft year? Again, we probably haven't got enough time for that. But I think, you know, the concern, again, that we have is if that's the best way to develop talent, and right now you're looking at it going, wow, that's a pretty good way to develop talent, where you've got, in Sydney, kids come into your club at 12 and same in Queensland. You know, if that's the best way to develop talent, should we actually be looking at setting up something like that here, where we actually have two academies?
But you got one. His name was Logan Evans. Great story. You needed 3, 4, 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, so
Samford, what do you call them? Samford
Rookie Program.
Samford Rookie Program.
That's right. Great story. Came into our program, spent the summer with us, and has earned through hard work. He's earned an opportunity to join.
We're going to have him on soon, mate. Before you do go, David Koch is going back to breakfast. What's going on there, mate?
Just one morning, Timmy. He's okay. He's coming for your job.
He's on the.
He's filling in for Pembo tomorrow.
No, but he's on our tourism SA.
He's the chair of SATC, so there you go. Matthew Richardson, CEO of Port Adelaide, thank you very much for coming in.
Good on you guys. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Richard.
Excellent work. We're 2 hours away from the opening bounce. Port Adelaide and Carlton at Adelaide Oval. We are live on 5AA. Caroline Wilson coming up after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Trumpets, please. The end of financial year sale is heating up at Edwardstown Mazda, and guess what? It's about to get even hotter. With our lowest ever drive-away offers, huge Mazda factory bonuses, an extra $2,000 trade-in bonus, and $1,000 in Edwardstown Mazda credit to spend however you'd like. Act now. Sale must end June 30.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
Tommy loves to fish, and he also loves his friend who has offered Tommy the use of his boat and trailer for a long weekend. Woohoo! But Tommy's little 2-door Corolla can barely top 70 k's, and that's with a tailwind. Tommy's got a problem. Lucky for him, Avis Truck Rental Adelaide has brand new utes and dual cabs with big badges, and Avis can fit them with racks, tow kits, all the toys. Woohoo! Turn got a problem into not a problem with Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. Open 7 days, 416 Port Road, West Hindmarsh. 82415200.
Did you find a builder for your odd-shaped block?
No, not yet.
Have you talked to Rossdale?
No. Should I?
Yeah, you should. They're the difficult site specialists. They did a free site inspection for Sarah when she was building, before they'd even bought the land. They told her what she needed to know about the block, which saved her time and money in the end.
Get a Rossdale Homes free site inspection before you build. There's no cost and no obligation. Rossdale Homes, because trust is a must.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 11 tonight with a late evening shower or two, and then showers tomorrow, a top of 17. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kerry Turner.
Tax time is easy at Toolkit Depot. Shop the ultimate range of trade tool brands in-store or online.
An asthma attack is believed to be what caused the death of a 5-year-old Seaton girl. Paramedics were called to Ballata Avenue just before 4 yesterday afternoon, where the little girl was unresponsive. She later died in hospital. She's been remembered today as a playful and happy child. A woman has been charged with arson after a brush fence fire at Fullerton. Emergency services were called to a group of units on the corner of Fullerton Road and White Avenue just after 1:30 this morning. The flames quickly took hold, spreading to a unit and 2 cars. The occupants, a man and woman in their 70s, were evacuated. And following an investigation, a 35-year-old woman was arrested at a Seacliff address. At this stage, police do not believe that it was a random attack. The appointment of David Koch as South Australia's new Tourism Commission chair has drawn some criticism given he's based in Sydney. The Port Adelaide chairman and former Sunrise host will take over the role in July for a 3-year term and says he wants to put something back into the state he loves.
I'm a proud South Australian business expat. I've followed opportunities interstate and worked overseas like a lot of South Australians do. But that doesn't mean you're excommunicated from the state. You're always a proud South Australian and you want to get back to it.
And Koshi will be stepping in to co-host the 5AA Breakfast Show tomorrow morning with Will Goodings. 10 millimetres of rain has been recorded at West Terrace today, ending Adelaide's dry spell. A rain band swept over the city this morning with 9.8 mils falling between 6:30am and 10:30am. Falls of up to 25 millimetres have been recorded across some parts of the hills, and a similar drenching looks set for tomorrow. Authorities are still searching for a man who took off before police arrived after his dog mauled a little boy at Pennington yesterday afternoon. The 3-year-old suffered facial injuries and is recovering from surgery in the Women's and Children's Hospital. The husband of missing Ballarat mum Samantha Murphy has confirmed the mobile phone found by police on the banks of a muddy dam near the Victorian town yesterday does belong to the 51-year-old. Gillian Lantouris reports.
Police are really leaning on this mobile phone and particularly the data that it contains to help find Samantha Murphy's body. I am told it could take up to a week for all of that data to be recovered, but police will be looking at social media accounts, bank statements, as well as whether the mobile phone was near another mobile phone at the time of her disappearance. Police have conducted minor searches, targeted searches here today, but haven't uncovered anything, but it certainly seems like a step forward in this case.
And a bus has fallen into a rocky ravine in southwest Pakistan, killing 28 people. Local authorities say the driver suddenly lost control of the vehicle. The exact cause of the crash isn't yet known. 20 people have been injured. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Elizabeth Tavern for knockoffs today. Happy hour 4 till 7. Selected pints and base spirits $6. Drink responsibly.
The gates are now open at Adelaide Oval ahead of tonight's round 12 opener between Port Adelaide and Carlton. The Power will be looking to cement their spot in the top 4 heading into the bye next weekend, but will have to do it without injured pair Willie Rioli and captain Connor Rowey. The Crows will release their team tonight for Saturday afternoon's match against Hawthorn at the MCG. Adelaide has lost its previous 9 in a row at the venue, and forward Josh Rochelle says it's something the group has addressed during the week.
We've played Collingwood and Melbourne there the last couple of times and we've lost by less than a goal, so we know our best footy's up to it. We've just got to, I think, especially against Hawthorn there, the last month their contested ball numbers and clearances have been very high, so we're going to have to win at the source.
And 3 spots are up for grabs in the Matildas Olympic squad. The Matildas play China in a friendly at Adelaide Oval tomorrow night. That match is a sellout. Let's check 5AA traffic.
Reducing greenhouse gas emissions is critical in the production of SA copper. It's happening now at BHP.
G'day there, Rick Royden. A breakdown to look out for. It's on the north-south motorway near Hawker Street. In the city, a crash, Curry Street near Lee Street, and another collision at Salisbury, Commercial Road near Kettering Road. Around the Adelaide Oval, roads closed for the footy tonight. That's War Memorial Drive between the Footbridge and King William Road. Now look out for a camera at Rosetta Street at West Croydon. At Priceline Pharmacy, they know the flu can knock you off your feet, so it's time to roll up your sleeve and join the fight against the flu. Book your flu shots at Priceline Pharmacy. Terms and conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 11 tonight with a late evening shower or 2. Showers tomorrow, 17. For Saturday, partly cloudy and 17, and sunny and 17 on Sunday. Right now it is 16 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
In your suburb.
Good evening from Port Noarlunga.
Across your state.
A sombre scene here in Bordertown tonight.
9 News is covering the stories that matter to South Australians.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
South Australian parents urged to be extra vigilant.
Because your home is our home. Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. At See Differently, we see your generous donations changing lives. Donate to our guide dog program today at seedifferently.org.au. That's seedifferently.org.au.
Are you planning your next outdoor home improvement project or want to build your dream outdoor living space? Choose a new generation Stracco Outback Gable Patio. Strikingly stylish and exceptionally engineered. It has been redesigned from the ground up for seamless finishes that complement your home. Plus, the patio is conveniently customizable with our widest range of roofing choices available. Come in and talk to our team about our new generation Stracco Outback Gable Patio and visit Adelaide's largest indoor garage and patio display centres at Stracco Jeps Cross and St Mary's.
Dreaming of a getaway? Now's the perfect time. With the G'day Parks app, not only do you get access to more parks in more places, but if you book on the app before the 31st of August for travel anytime this year, you'll be entered into the draw to win free fuel for a year. A whole year of free fuel. Book to win and get away on us. G'day Parks, the easy way to get away. Here's good. G'dayParks.com.au. T's and C's apply. Permit number ACT TP 24/0068.
Could you go 31 days without alcohol? Go dry this July and help raise funds for people affected by cancer. It's a small sacrifice to show your support. This is why we Dry July. Sign up today at dryjuly.com.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. It's 8 minutes after 5. We're just under 2 hours now away from opening bounce of Thursday night football, Port Adelaide and Carlton at the Adelaide Oval, which is where we are tonight in the build-up. Still to come, Port Adelaide's mid-season recruit, Logan Evans will join us. We'll talk Matildas with a great South Aussie, Sharon Black, and we love your calls as well, 8223 0000. But of course, it's a Thursday, so right now it's time to bring in
Caroline Wilson. Thanks to Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Yes, who got the lovely Caroline Wilson on? Thanks to the Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Caroline, hope your week's been well, but maybe Alistair Clarkson's hasn't been as good as yours.
No, it hasn't, Tim, and good evening, Stephen. I wish I was at the Adelaide Oval. I love Thursday night footy at the Adelaide Oval.
I do too.
Sad it's coming to an end, but look, it hasn't been great, but my understanding, Stephen and Tim, is that there will be better news for Alistair Clarkson in the coming hours. As I can best predict, he won't be fined and he won't be suspended.
Is that right?
That is what I'm sort of thinking at this stage. I think, having spoken to a few people, and we'll talk about the wider ramifications for the North Melbourne coach in a moment, but although there was some pretty foul language, and although it was within earshot of the umpires or the match officials, it wasn't actually at the umpires, it was at the match day officials bench. And I'm not, please don't shoot the messenger here, but I think it's been found that Alistair Clarkson, although his behaviour was not in any way acceptable, it was not breaking the rules, and therefore that suspension has not been violated, and he will be free. Well, he's obviously having a break this weekend because North has a bye, but he'll be back coaching next week. What I do believe, though, Stephen, and you might remember I said this to you back in March, and I still criticised the AFL for not being tougher on Alistair then, and we know he's going through a lot, we understand that, but this behaviour is completely unacceptable. I said then that he should be banned from being on the ground, and if I was North Melbourne, and I'm sure this will happen, I think North Melbourne bosses will have a word with Alistair and suggest that he coaches from up in the box from now on. Certainly for the remainder.
No one can tell him to. What a crock of crap, Cara. No one can tell a coach where to coach, how to do it and what to do it.
As
no
we're
one
talking
can.
about bad language.
Oh, sorry, Cara. But well, okay. Well, put me in the picture because I really rate this bloke. You can't have a record like he has as a coach and a developer of young men and be absolutely vilified from every pillar to post. What exactly did he say or do? Was it demonstrative? Was it just swear words? I mean, where are we going, Caro?
Stephen,
what did he do?
You and I are on such different pages here. The world has changed. The language was so disgusting that if I said it on air now, would be taken off air. It was unacceptable. There was initially a suggestion. Well, it obviously happened in the third quarter of the game against Port Adelaide, and the language was dreadful, and it followed an umpiring decision that he did not like. This is what was originally reported. Now, you can't behave like that on the ground. You just can't. You've got to be better than that. He's already.
So, do you think footballers on the footy field will say the F word or the curly curt word? Do you think they would?
I'm not talking about footballers on the ground. I'm talking about the coach, the number one man or woman, but the number one man clearly in AFL at the club in terms of match day. He is on the ground. He's on the sidelines. He's using language that is unacceptable in a game in which his club is struggling, his team is struggling, and there was a suggestion. It followed some umpiring decisions or an umpiring decision, and it was directed towards the match day officials, but the AFL has accepted, and I don't think Alistair Clarkson, if you asked him, would even remember that he's done this, which is probably a bit of a worry in itself, or when it happened, towards match day officials. Now, there's been times over the last 2 years when I think he's behaved inappropriately. I didn't like it in that game early last year against FIVEAA when he was gesticulating on the boundary line, putting his arms out to signify out of bounds, etc., to signify whistles being blown. I thought that can lead to bad stuff as well. We know what he did with Jimmy Webster over the Simkin incident in the pre-season, and you've just got to be in control, and he's clearly not in control. So I believe that he's got off this time. Many people thought he should be suspended. He's got off this time with no suspension, no fine. But my understanding is that, and I think this should happen, North Melbourne might suggest he coaches from the box.
Wow.
Caroline, do you think Sonia Hood, who was pretty excited when they landed Clarko, do you reckon she's excited now as she was then?
I think the micromanagement of someone who came in, as a $1 million man, Tim, has been so much more onerous than they expected. I mean, you've had to put people around him to make sure that there are checks and balances to control his behaviour. Obviously, he missed a huge chunk of last year because of mental health issues. Now, when they did land Alistair Clarkson, they did not see the Hawthorn situation coming and the allegations against Alistair Clarkson coming. And it must be said that all of this has happened last weekend, and all of the issues that have happened this year have happened against the backdrop of those Human Rights Commission talks breaking down, some pretty intensive stuff going on at the Human Rights Commission in the lead-up, well, certainly for North, in the lead-up to the Good Friday game. People at North Melbourne insist to me, boys, that you wouldn't know Monday to Friday when you walk into the club that this is a team who gets thrashed every week, who just hasn't looked like winning a game for some time, and who hasn't won a game this season. But he's kept the environment pretty upbeat. But these sort of stories can't be good for the playing group. Even if they're not aware of what's going on in a match day situation, they can't be good when you read this stuff about your coach. I mean, if he can't control himself and uses foul language, and honestly, Stephen, you can carry on about, it's a man's game and this is understandable. It's not. You can't, as a senior coach, behave like this anymore. You just can't.
Well, do you think he's the first and only coach that's lost it on the bench toward an umpire or toward an opposition teammate and actually swore? Did he slit his throat like Sheeds did? Did he flick the bird? Did he threaten? He swore, Caro.
I've just told you that they're accepting that he was swearing at no one in particular, and therefore my belief is he would get off. Well, I think it's a fairly big talking point and a fairly big story. That's my judgment of it, Stephen, and it's been a big issue for North Melbourne this week because they've had to manage the situation. Obviously a big issue, I imagine, for Todd Viney, the head of footy, for Jennifer Watt, the CEO, and I guess for Sonia Hood, particularly when they should be having a week off. So, yet again, he's caused them some concern. I'm sure he's mortified by what he's done and completely contrite, but he always is.
Okay. The umpires, they mic'd up. Is this a real story? Your mate Scoop-de-Doo broke it. Is there any truth or clarity in it?
Well, yes. I mean, the AFL have confirmed it. They've defended it, but they've confirmed it. So, I must say I wasn't aware of this. I didn't know the umpires were being spoken to during games. Now, the AFL, please excuse my voice, I've got a shocking cold. The AFL
no, you're right.
Initially denied that umpires were being spoken to during quarters, that they were only being spoken to during breaks. But now they've admitted that sometimes this small group of former umpires, former officials and senior people in the game are often maybe or sometimes speaking to umpires saying, good decision or well done this or well done when there's a break in play if a player's coming off a concussion or something like that. Now, what we do know is that several coaches have alerted the AFL to concern about this. And one coach who was quoted in the Age today has spoken about concerns about integrity issues. I'm not sure I'm quite comfortable, particularly when you see a decision like the decision at the Collingwood Fremantle game last week when a free kick was paid, for time wasting, for handing the ball to a teammate. I'm not sure, and you saw Matthew Nicholls' frustration with time wasting, or potentially time wasting. It's still side bottom earlier in the game. I'm not sure that I'm quite comfortable with people speaking to umpires through their earpieces during games. I don't know about you. I just didn't know it happened.
Yeah,
I think it should stop immediately.
If it's encouragement and feedback, well, why not? But if they're suggesting
But how
for
do you
1
know?
second, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If they're suggesting for 1 second, somebody sitting up where I am in the bleachers is mic'd up to a central umpire, and I see a blatant free kick, and I say holding the ball, or he's grabbing him, or too high, or he ducked his head, and making decisions up there. Oh my God, that's massive, Caro.
Well, the AFL are denying it. Stephen McBurney, the new umpire's boss, he's had a busy start, hasn't he? Baptism of fire.
Yeah.
He's denying it. But I think that it's probably best that umpires are not spoken to during actual play. That would be my thought. I'm not suggesting for a moment that they're saying that's a free kick or what you just said, but I think the coaches are concerned enough about it. Several coaches have spoken to the AFL about it, and 3 of them definitely voiced their concerns to the Age. So that's a big enough issue, particularly with everything else that's going on with umpiring at the moment. I don't think it's probably a great idea.
See how that goes with the new, what would you say, adjudication of holding the ball tonight. We'll look forward to that.
It's the first night, Caro, isn't it? The experiment.
It's the first night, so you normally see the biggest reaction on the first night, so we'll see how it goes. Now, you got a point here, conflict of interest when coaches or officials cover games involving their clubs. What's that one about?
Well, we spoke about it on Footy Classified. We spoke about Cameron Mooney, who I didn't realise that GWS have clarified this. Well, he's part of their coaching panel. He's a forwards coach.
Right.
So, he's helping out with the forwards on a part-time basis. Now, he was down at the Cattery covering the GWS Geelong game last weekend. He didn't go into the Geelong rooms because there was a mix-up. And I think he thought the interview with Chris Scott was going to be on the boundary line. But Geelong were not super thrilled with the idea, although they were going along with it. And I'm not saying he's going into the inner sanctum where he's looking at whiteboards and stuff. But I wouldn't be happy with that. And remember last year Richmond had an issue with Daisy Pearce being in the room, in their rooms, right, as a Geelong assistant, as she was then. And I completely understood that. And I think Geelong completely understood that. Now, I know we look at Mark Ricciardo every week on the ground, commentating for Fox Footy. He's a club director, and I guess he's not a paid employee and not a coach. But if I was the opposition, I wouldn't want him in our room. And I certainly wouldn't want an assistant coach, even if he's only a part-time advisory coach. I don't think I'd want him in the opposition rooms either. And I think this is the problem for the AFL, and I don't think it's that hard for Fox Footy to defend the decision by saying, oh, look, we like our people to be switched on and informed. Well, you don't have to be working for the club. I think that's poor. I don't think that works for me. I don't think that works at all.
It's a hard one to stop sometimes, like you just gave an example of. It's like they've got this media role, so they've sort of got to be told what to do for the media. The media who employ them don't want to be restricted, do they? So maybe they've got to look at, if you're on an AFL panel or a board or a coaching position, then you can't do that role.
Well, it's hard. I mean, Sean Burgoyne is not a coach at Port Adelaide, but he's part-time Indigenous welfare officer and doing a bit of development work. Now, I see him commentating on games all the time, and he does a good job. And the soft
He's
cap...
not going in the rooms. He's not going in the rooms.
No, and he shouldn't go in the room. The soft cap is such that you can't earn enough at footy clubs now, and clubs can't afford as many part-time or full-time coaches as they used to have, and so they're not paying them as much. They have to double up with media work. I mean, Eddie Betts did it when he was at Geelong last year, and I think in the end he just found it too difficult, and he was obviously doing a lot better away from assistant coaching, and he's chosen not to be an assistant coach, which I think it's sad for coaching, quite frankly. But anyway, he's not doing it. He's doing other stuff, and I wish him all the best because we want him to have a great career in whatever he does. But I just think that really, particularly if you're a coach, Tim, I don't think you should be in the opposition's rooms or even in their, going down their road.
I agree. Yeah, that's why Sean Bergman does special comments. He can do that from the commentary position, and that's fine.
Caro, we had Port CEO Matthew Richardson on before 5. They are hell-bent, and they're not his words, they're mine reading into it, on leaving the SANFL next year. Where's that all at?
Well, as I said to you last week, the AFL have put a slow on it, and nothing I said last week I resolved from. Port, I think, I sympathise with them, but they're being unrealistic in thinking it will happen next year. I think the Crows are more realistic in working towards 2026, and don't you worry, the Crows are completely aligned with Port on this, but they, under some bizarre sort of contract, they're paying $500,000 to the SANFL in a contract that lasts until 2028. Port, of course, when that deal was done, had a big debt and were in trouble, so they don't pay nearly as much. They've fixed themselves up now and they're doing a lot better. I really sympathise with both the Adelaide clubs. The AFL are now justifying their decision to put the slows on it by saying the West Australian clubs don't want it. Well, West Coast was pretty keen. Fremantle, not so much. Both the Adelaide clubs, they're being so poorly treated by the SANFL. The fixturing's a disaster. I think Adelaide, was it last week they had 11 or 12 top-up players in their team? Tim, is that right? I'm not sure.
Port
maybe
Adelaide,
this week. No, Adelaide.
Well, it's not SANFL's fault they've got injuries, Caro. No.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. They need to be in a national reserves competition. The disadvantage, we talk about competitive balance and, teams want more home games, they want academies, etc. This is the greatest inequity in competitive balance, is that 14 teams play in a national reserves comp, or so-called, and 4 don't. Well, it's just not fair. And the AFL is Andrew Dillon will be in Adelaide tonight, and I think he's talking to both the Adelaide clubs about getting them a better deal from the SANFL and a better fixture and all of that sort of stuff. But I feel as though the horse has bolted there. I think that both the clubs just want out of the SANFL, and I think they're heading on a collision course, both of them.
Yeah, well, that's where it's heading. Well done, Caro. Thanks for your time. Gloves are off. We'll speak next Thursday. Thanks, Caro.
Good calling tonight, boys.
Thanks, Caro. Get over that cold, mate. We'll see you next week. All thanks to Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. We're on cooking appliances to washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. There's new stock arriving weekly, all with manufacturer's warranties. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, 919 Marion Road, Marion.
We'll chat to Port Adelaide's Logan Evans very shortly, but first, here's your traffic.
Breakdown at Croydon to look out for on the drive home. It's the north-south motorway near Hawker Street, a collision in the city, Curry Street near Lee Street, and another prang at Salisbury, Commercial Road near Kettering Road. Adelaide Oval roads closed for the footy. That's on War Memorial Drive between the Footbridge and King William Road, and got a camera tonight. Gawler Road at 2 Wells. The Harvey Norman clearance is on now. Shop TVs, fridges, laptops, furniture, bedding, barbecues and more. Best brands, best range, best price. Harvey Norman clearance on now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
Phil Hoffman Travel, proudly South Australian and family-owned for over 30 years. They live and breathe travel, connecting South Australians to the world using their experience, expertise and genuine care. Whether you're travelling for pleasure, business, group travel, conferences or events, Phil Hoffman Travel has you covered. Visit pht.com.au.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
10 years ago, Jama's Kitchen was just a dream. That dream became reality when Chris told his family around the table at Thursday night dinner. Coming from a family of chefs, this was no easy task. Jama's Kitchen first opened their doors in Bowden, where they've been for the last decade. 10 years of uniting people, celebrating family recipes, and simplifying sophistication. Happy 10th birthday, Jama's Kitchen. Book today at jamaskitchen.com.au.
Hi, Ned McHenry here. Did you know Stablecraft's only Adelaide dealer is also the world's best? Christie's Beach Marine have been awarded Stabicraft International Dealer of the Year for 2023. Come and find out why as they celebrate with a massive sale. Score up to $5,000 off boat, motor and trailer packages, plus great package deals with Mercury and Yamaha outboard options. So hurry into Christie's Beach Marine for their massive sale. 19 Sheriffs Road, Lonsdale, or search Christie's Beach Marine online.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. I recognise this music, and guess what, Rowey? I got a phone call from Mr. Zorba himself.
No, you mean Jimmy from Mr. Meats, don't you? Grange Road.
The legend
Mr.
himself.
Greek, the legend.
You've got to go and see him. He's the best bloke in the world, I tell you. And I'll tell you, you can't go past his deals this weekend for the footy. So you want to get around, have a barbie and watch it? Well, get his lamb loin chops. They're covered in his special Greek herbs that he does. Now, it's from his hometown of Kaliminos, and it's only $18.99 a kilo. These are beautiful. I can tell you they're the icon of the shop. Once you've had them, you'll be addicted.
You know what Jimmy did? The other day he dropped in. You saw me get them.
Yeah.
My Lukanika sausages.
Yeah, you love them.
Me. Hot chili. Oh, it was...
I'll tell you what,
it was my favourite meal this week. There you are.
You've got to have a stomach for those hot chili ones.
Well, yeah, no, but you can have different ones with mine. And honestly, they're fantastic. He also threw in some chicken and some lamb souvlaki.
Oh, they're magnificent.
Put it on the hot plate. You haven't had a barbecue till you've had Mr. Zorba Meats. Until you've met Jimmy at Mr. Meats.
Jimmy, his meats are incredible. So is he. Fire up the barbie this weekend. Watch the footy. Go and see Jimmy. You'll love him. I'll tell you, Kath, the family, he'll introduce you to everybody. He is Mr. Meats, 43 Grange Road, West Hindmarsh. Tell him Rowey and Timmy sent you.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
There's a new kid on the block at Wayville. Literally. Wayville Hyundai, Adelaide's newest family-owned Hyundai service centre with free drop-offs, next-day availability and loan cars. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, driven by Australian Motors.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. Schools, councils and businesses all over South Australia choose Leader Computers for very important reasons. Leader is local and offers exceptional value. No matter what happens, Leader can be on site to fix your problem. No overseas or interstate call centres to deal with. Plus, Leader Computers is a 100% owned and operated South Australian company, offering fast same-day delivery and setup. Grow your business and get behind a Leader. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5:30, Thursday night football not too far away, and 5AA's Best of SA is all about celebrating and profiling the great brands of our state, and today, none bigger than Phil Hoffman Travel for your chance to win a Wheeler Boards cabin bags and 2 tickets to our Best of SA dinner Friday the 14th of June at Adelaide Oval. Give us a call right now, 8223 0055. Phil Hoffman Travel, for over 30 years, creating moments you'll never forget. Visit pht.com.au.
Yeah, beautiful conditions here at the Adelaide Oval. The breeze has just about dropped away. The flags have gone limp. We've got the Aboriginal Power Cup Grand Finals happening here. Doors are open. People are in. It's going to be a cracking night.
Outstanding, Timmy. We'll cross back to the Oval in a moment with the headlines and Port Adelaide's mid-season draftee, Logan Evans.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Kerry Turner with the latest news headlines. Playful and happy is how a 5-year-old Seaton girl has been remembered today. Her family says it's believed an asthma attack caused her death. A woman has been charged with arson after an early morning fire at Fullerton. The mobile phone found by police near Ballarat yesterday is understood to belong to missing 51-year-old mum Samantha Murphy. And in sport, Port is up against Carlton at Adelaide Oval tonight as round 12 of the AFL kicks off. It'll be the first time Orazio Fantasia lines up against his old club after joining the Blues in the off-season. Checking 5AA traffic.
G'day there. Breakdowns to look out for at Croydon, north-south motorway near Hawker Street. crash in the city, Curry Street near Lee Street, and at Salisbury, another collision, Commercial Road near Kettering Road. At the Adelaide Oval, roads are closed for the footy. That's War Memorial Drive between the Riverbank Footbridge and King William Road. And got a camera tonight, Frederick Road at Seaton. The Fantastic Furniture Sale is on now. Save up to $50 on selected dining tables and up to $30 on selected dining chairs. Find your Fantastic in-store or online today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast getting down to 11 tonight, then showers tomorrow, a top of 17. Right now it is 16 degrees, more news at 6, and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
The Premier of South Australia joins us. This is our first chat since you got back from the US. Obviously, AUKUS was the dominant theme. Can we ask you your comments about population this week and the population debate to meet the AUKUS obligations?
There's a discussion federally about winding back migration, principally because we have a housing supply crisis.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
In South Australia, we've got an explosion in work that simply must be done.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Don't miss your chance to grab a run-out deal at Formula Honda. Enjoy run-out prices on the Honda HR-V while stocks last. An effortlessly stylish, next-generation hybrid with intuitive safety technology from just $43,900. Plus, score a deal on the iconic Honda Accord with a 7-year warranty, 7 years roadside assist, and 5 standard low-price services. Run into Formula Honda while the run-out deals last. Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or Northeast Road, Modbury.
Guys, it's starting.
Say a giant thanks to the mate who pays for all the streaming services.
Shush!
Shout them KFC $6.95 giant snack pack loaded with nuggets, popcorn chicken, and chips.
Oh!
KFC $6.95 giant snack pack. It's a great shout.
Not everywhere and not forever. Pick up only.
You know what? When it comes to suits, we know this. Big brands, yeah, they're important. But what's more important is how it looks and how it feels and how you feel in it.
Well, I've been down to Ignition for Men, Adelaide's home of Armani, Canali, Zegna. They offer impeccable range of suits by all leading Italian brands. But most importantly, they ensure that the fit is perfect. Now, I've got to go back Tuesday next week. And he's got my jacket ready. I'm going to get some chinos to go with it. And they can do this because, you know what? They're the best tailors going around. The real deal.
Look, they are. I went in this week, Timmy.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I love mine. My lining has got the Crows logo and a Redlegs logo.
Wow.
And my initials in it, but got it fitted just
very nice. Tailor-made.
Oh, it is. Well, it was. Yeah, it was for Ignition for Men. From comfortable everyday office suits by Gibson and Joe Black to dinner dress attire, wedding and all occasion suits, the range, style and service at Ignition for Men is magnificent. It's tailored to make you look and feel your best. And there is nothing like it.
Yeah, and they also have the latest casual wear from brands like EA7, Replay, Hugo Boss, Karl Lagerfeld and more. Now, you can jump online and take a look at ignitionformen.com.au or just go there. I love visiting. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Harvey Norman clearance on now. Save over $500 on LG 75-inch smart TV, now under $2,000 with bonus local delivery and wall mount installation. Grab a bargain on the latest tech. HP 14S laptop, hot deal just $368. Update your home with up to 40% off floor stock lounges, dining, outdoor furniture and barbecues. Big brand Australian-made mattress, queen size, priced from just $399. Amazing value. Harvey Norman clearance. Best brands, best range at the best price, guaranteed. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm Jo. I'm a registered nurse and I work with St Louis Home Care as a clinical care coordinator.
St Louis was started by my great-grandmother and is one big happy family with lovely staff just like Jo.
The people that work for St Louis are very loving and caring.
Whether it's personal care, preparing meals, shopping, home maintenance or social activities, we help people stay at home for longer.
If you're interested, come and join us.
Google St Louis Home Care today.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back at 23 minutes to 6. Still to come, we're going to talk to a former Matilda, Sharon Black. The Matildas are here in Adelaide and they're taking on China tomorrow night at Adelaide Oval. What a great scene that will be, filling up the stadium with green and gold. More time for your calls as well, 8223 0000. But last night, gee, wasn't it a special night for one young footy player?
Pick 12 is with Port Adelaide and they have selected Logan Evans.
Well, they were the ecstatic scenes in the home of the Evans family as all of Logan Evans' mates went berserk as he was announced as pick 12 in Wednesday's mid-season rookie draft. Logan joins us now. Congratulations, mate. How are you feeling?
Yeah, over the moon. So stoked to be on board officially, which is great.
Yeah, when did you sort of get that inkling that it might happen?
Well, we had a few chats during the year. And they were pretty keen on taking me, I guess, and it was just, getting to the pick. So yeah, I was relieved to hear my name called out. That was the biggest part. Tell us about it. Yeah, tell us about how Port Adelaide
sort of took you through the sample rookie program, which allowed you to train with the AFL side, be a part of the whole experience. Just walk us through that.
Yeah, that was such a great opportunity for me, and I'm fairly grateful for them giving me that opportunity. So I missed out on my draft year last year, and about a week afterwards, they gave me a buzz and said they were keen to get me on board through the sample rookie program. And they explained it to me, so I was able to train full time for the past 6 months with the AFL side, and play with the sample side. And it's just been so good, such a good experience for me, just being in all the meetings, soaking it up with all the boys already, and just learning from all the coaches, the staff, the players. It's just been a great experience for me, and it's definitely helped me get to where I am now. So I'm just so grateful for it.
So you missed out on your draft year, and so many people have a lot going on in that year. You know, there's year 12, and there's life in general and the like. The disappointment of that, did that after you got over that, did that use it as a spur to say, rightio, I'm going to go and enjoy my football and do everything I possibly can to perhaps get another opportunity?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And like you said, people definitely have their ups and downs. I lost a few people last year that probably didn't help me play to the best footy, but I also take it on myself, saying that I'll probably try to play a bit of catch up after having a few average games. I lost my grandpa last year, who was really
I heard
close
that.
to my footy. He used to recruit for the Bombers, and then I also lost a good teammate in Nick Loudon at Norwood, and that was a really tough pill to swallow. But I'm still just grateful because it's shaped me into the human I am now, and wouldn't want to have it any other way. But yeah, like you said, I've been able to work as hard as I can. My mum put a really, really good point to me. She goes no, you just get to play for fun, play like you're a kid again. Just have that freedom, enjoy it. There's no stress. You can if you get picked up, you get picked up. If you don't, you don't. You get a really good opportunity. So I've just been able to play with a free mind and just actually love my footy and not put so much stress on me. So it's been amazing.
Now, Logan, a couple of bits I've got to pick on you. Your former club, Norwood, and you grew up a Crows supporter. So how are we washing that away from you down there at Albion? Have we thrown you in the Port River yet? That's normally what we used to do.
No, I haven't been in it yet, but I'm a Port man through and through. So
love it.
That's all you're going to know. It's the first time I walked in there now.
Logan, Stephen here, mate. Congratulations. An exciting time for you. I'm more interested how a Norwood kid ended up making the decision to go and play in Port Adelaide as a top-up. How the hell did that happen?
Well, if it was just as a normal top-up, I probably wouldn't have gone, to be honest. But just the opportunity they put in front of me, it was pretty hard to turn down. Not being on a list, but being able to train 5 days a week with the AFL team seemed like a bit of a no-brainer. So it was just so excited to get out there.
Okay, so I don't get how that works. I mean, because I only hear Port and Crows complaining about the quality of recruit they can get. How did they able to entice you, and how were you able to train full time?
So the sample rookie program is a bit of a different program. So it's when the AFL club and one of the sample clubs align with a player that we can both put one spot on. So the Crows at the moment have Tyler Welsh, and they had me, and Port had me, so each club gets one player to choose from, and I was lucky enough to get that pick, but it allows me to train full-time with the AFL side, and then, if needed, I can go back and play reserves at Norwood, which was if I wasn't getting a game, but I was lucky enough to play a few games. But yeah, just it was a really, really good opportunity. Just
How good's that?
being in that AFL environment. Yeah.
I did not know that, Logan. Did you know that, Timmy?
Yes. And Tyler Welsh is on the same program at the Crows.
Well, there you go. So what are the Crows and Port complaining about?
Yeah.
They've got a kid now.
Yeah, well, when you've got 12 people out, that's probably where the issue bobs its head up. But we'll talk about that later anyway,
Sorry,
Stephen.
Logan.
Logan. Exactly.
We digress, mate.
Hey, Logan, you mentioned your mum. Of course, she played at a very high level in netball. She was in part of that unbelievable era in the 90s between Contacts and Garvel, as it was once known. And that was as fierce a rival as there was going around. I mean, she's obviously a competitive beast herself.
Yeah, she tells me I get a skill from her, so...
Without a doubt. Oh, gee. I did meet your mum at Woodville West Torrens game that you played as well, and we had a quick chat. But, mate, I've watched you, and you seem to have a lot of time. Now, not a lot of players get that, but when you get hold of the ball, you seem to have a lot of time, which is one of the gifts of great players. Have you noticed that yourself, or is that just natural?
I guess probably part of it, my teammates put me in good spots, and I'm willing to trust where they tell me to go. But at the same time, I probably got a little bit of a natural feel for it. But yeah, I just guess I back in my decision making and my skills to give me the time and let me do the right thing. So yeah, but same as the teammates put me in some really, really good spots to be able to have time and use the ball well. So.
I heard you say that you've chatted to a lot of the senior players and getting a lot of help from the coaches, as you would expect there, but you said that you liken yourself to sort of Miles Bergman, and you said you're similar height and the like. Is your preferred, because he plays half-back, he can play in the middle, he can play on the wing. Are you as versatile as that?
Not right now, no, but I reckon I'd love to be able to be as versatile as that, because that would be very helpful for the team and for myself. So yeah, I guess, as I said a bit earlier today, trying to just get in the gym with him, get in the track with him, and just do everything he's doing, because he's a pretty good player and a really impressive athlete. So yeah, just trying to liken myself to him would be a really, really big step for me.
So Logan, when you're nominated, it's either 6 months or 18 months. Which box did you tick?
So I did tick the 18 months, which was I just took the 18 months because we had a bit of a discussion, and they were pretty happy to see how my development went, which is just really, really grateful for that. Give me an extra year, yeah.
So you've got 18 months to impress. Now, I don't want you going straight down Main North Road and buying the best car you can. You just got to squirrel your money away now, Logan.
No, I got a nice little Mazda 3 to keep me rolling for a few years, I reckon.
Good man.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Hey, Logan, congratulations, mate. Once again, it's an effort that you put in that has been rewarded. So really proud of you, mate.
Brilliant.
And all the best in your upcoming 18 months term, mate. I'm sure it'll extend to a longer period.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy your day.
Logan Evans picked up in the mid-season draft, the rookie draft, which is fantastic for him, and already in that sample rookie program, which I think it's reaped benefits for young Logan, but I'm sure Tyler Welsh is enjoying it as well. So absolutely fantastic result. Logan Evans, our guest.
Always a really good story, isn't it? Now, guys, just before we go to the break, a AFL statement has just dropped in regards to Alistair Clarkson. We heard from Caro moments ago. She was pretty much on the money. So this is what the AFL have just put out. The AFL was made aware of the alleged comments by Matchday official post-game who heard the comments, and then they went through the integrity unit following up through the report. Clarkson has admitted to loudly swearing and using inappropriate language while standing near the umpires and officials bench in response to an umpiring decision. After talking to match officials, the AFL was not able to be comfortably satisfied that Clarkson's swearing was directed towards a specific person or persons in the particular AFL match official or officials, and such no finding of a breach to AFL rules has been made.
Well done. Well done. You know, and again, people are going to smash me on the unique home style food text row. You're supporting a bloke that's had all these charges, you know, made a homophobic slur, he's got racial things against him and all that sort of stuff. I'm not supporting him. I'm saying, at the end of the day, how can you penalise a coach, an official, a player, or anyone for swearing? How can you?
Yeah, well, they've obviously cleared this one up, which is great.
So the umpire dobbed him in. The umpires dobbed him in.
The match official, by the sounds of it, that was on the boundary line, I would imagine. So that's how that occurred. But look, for me, all I'd be doing if I was say, the CEO of North Melbourne, I'd just be bringing Clarko.
Let's go and have a coffee,
and I'd say,
Clarko.
yeah, sit down and say, Clarko.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be on the front page every week.
Yeah, good call.
Can you get us off the front page? Because you know what? Just if you can, it'd be terrific if we could just have some clean air and try and get the the team up and running without having to deal with this crap. And that's
get off the podium.
That's the conversation I'd have and say, come on, buddy, get to do what you do best.
Coach.
No question. We're at Adelaide Oval live ahead of Port Adelaide and Carlton tonight, just over an hour away from the game start. Crows team selection is about to drop in a couple of minutes too for their game on Saturday, so we'll get you that straight after the traffic.
Breakdown to look out from the drive home at Croydon, north-south motorway near Hawker Street, crash in the city, Curry Street near Lee Street. Around the Adelaide Oval, roads closed for the footy tonight. That's War Memorial Drive between the Riverbank Footbridge and King William Road, and slow going South Road at Theberton. Cameras, Lockside Drive, West Lakes, and Grey Terrace at Gilman. It can be hard to talk about your mental health. Thankfully, FIVEAA helps young people open up and lead mentally healthy lives every day. For more, visit FIVEAA.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Good health is contagious. Yep, we're wired to pick up all the best bits from one another. And at FIVEAA, we're helping it spread around Australia by helping our almost 4 million members live healthier, whatever that looks like for them. Because every time they do, someone else will too. Join FIVEAA for award-winning health insurance and feel good health catch on.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. For most business PC brands, a 4-hour service guarantee means they'll call you back in 4 hours. But at Leader Computers, a 4-hour service guarantee on Leader's business range means they'll come to your work site and have you back in business inside 4 hours. Leader Computers are made here in Adelaide with better service, better support and speedy turnaround times. Grow your business and get behind a Leader. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
Okay, Rowey, you ready to go?
Always.
Good. Agostino Mitsubishi, good to go. End of financial year event.
Yeah. The one where they look after you with free on-roads, including registration, stamp duty and CTP insurance, plus a $1,000 cash card on selected models.
Yeah, that's the one, mate.
Wow.
But you've got to get in quick because the offer ends June 30.
It does. Come and see the great team, the outstanding team at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth or Mitsubishi Mawson Lakes for that good-to-go end of financial year event. New car, excellent service. You won't be disappointed. Excludes dealer delivery. They're the best.
Don't miss your flight. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery's early bird deadline is tomorrow. 3 lucky families will win 7 nights in London, 7 nights in Paris, and 7 nights in Rome. Or choose $100,000 in cash. Plus, your tickets stay in more than 11,000 draws, including 2 grand prize homes. Early bird deadline, midnight tomorrow. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au. Licence in 14548.
Some blocks of land are flat. Some aren't. Some may need a retaining wall. Some may need more than that. But for all blocks, Rossdale is there to help. They'll do a free site inspection, tell you what you need to know about your land, and save you time and money in the end. Whether it's a custom home, standard design, split level or 2-story, Rossdale has it covered. Now that's a builder you can trust. Rossdale Homes. Because trust is a must.
Could you go 31 days without alcohol? Go dry this July and help raise funds for people affected by cancer. It's a small sacrifice to show your support. This is why we Dry July. Sign up today at dryjuly.com.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 9 minutes to 6. Crows team has landed for tonight's game, for Saturday's game rather, fellas, against the Hawks at the MCG. Rowey, no changes.
Yeah, no surprise there. Go in with no changes. They won by 99 points the week before. Their form's been building. There's no question about that. I think they'll line up exactly the same. Why change a winning formula? They're going to go in with a lot of confidence. Harry Schomburg has been listed as the only real change from the lineup from last week as a starting midfielder, which is great. So on the bench, Rory Laird, Sam Berry, Luke Nankervis. Loved his game last week. Braden Cook, really coming on. and Lockie Murphy. Be interesting to see if Sam Berry, with his, well, I guess his second half and his form, whether he is the sub again or whether they rotate that. Could be Murph this week. Luke Nankervis has done it. Braden Cook hasn't as yet. So, no, well done. Go in unchanged. And just for Hawthorn, as we know, this is Saturday afternoon. Jack Gunston will play his 250th, former Crow. Ned Reeves is in. He's nowhere near the calibre of ruckman as Lloyd Meek. He's out injured. So, a big out for Hawthorn. Massive game. Crows have to win. And they have to win if they want to make the 8. End of story. Lose that season.
Thank you very much, Stephen Rowe. Well, I know we've got a big game here tonight, but tomorrow night it's going to be massive. The Tillies are in town. They're going to take on China in a little friendly. And we've got, one of the past Matildas who played in some pretty big games herself, and we're going to welcome her now. Sharon Black, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, guys. I'm good. How are you?
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Thanks for talking to us once again. Just floating into tomorrow night and what it might be like. We spoke to Charlie Grant last week, and she just had sort of tingles going on, thinking, I'm going to be playing in Adelaide in front of my family, home crowd, 53-odd thousand people. It's going to be an awesome night for people like Charlie.
Oh, absolutely. For her to be at the level that she's at, and then I know she's a very patriotic South Australian, and to play in front of her home crowd, it doesn't happen very often. She will be over the moon.
Will you be getting a seat right on the boundary next to Tony Gustafsson, or will you perhaps sit in a GA? Where are you going to be?
Hopefully I'll be up in the grandstand keeping warm.
Good girl.
Sharon, it's our 13th consecutive home soil sellout. One of our last chances to see the Matildas clearly before they head off to Paris. The adulation doesn't surprise me. They are just such a watchable sporting team, Sharon.
Yeah, they are, and just their growth has been phenomenal, and just the support that they've got from the Australian public. I guess I've had some good wins, but just the way they approach the game, and then take the time out with the fans afterwards. I think that a lot of people are really attracted to that.
Yeah. How important is this for our preparation? A couple of friendlies against a reasonable team. I'd think we've got more talent on the park than them as we build towards Paris.
Yeah, I think it's vitally important. These are our last 2 warm-up games before Paris. We've got a very, very hard group, and I think he'll use this training camp to try and finalise those positions, where maybe there's 1 or 2 players vying for those last couple of spots. So I think for the players, it's just such an important camp because they need to show everything that they've got, every single training, and then when they get on the park against China, then it's so important that they perform to the best level that they can.
We finished 4th in the World Cup, and we know how well that was supported. What expectations do you reckon the Matildas should have on themselves heading into the Olympics?
Well, in our group we've got 2 top 5 teams, and that's going to be really, really tough.
Yeah.
So, in Germany and USA, just very tough competition. But at the end of the day, when you're playing in an Olympics, you have to beat the best in the world. So, I think they just take it game by game, plan, how they're going to play and attack each game, and then just look at the next game after that.
Having a look at your record, which is quite phenomenal, Player of the Year 5 times, Premier League Championship medal 5 times, won the Danish League Championship medal. It just goes on and on. Is one of your greatest achievements playing at the Sydney Football Stadium in the 2000 Olympics in front of 85,000 people? That must have been incredible.
Yeah, that's not a bad experience. Most definitely, that would have to be the highlight of my career, to play, again in front of your home crowd. And I sort of understand the feeling that Charlie's going to get tomorrow night. It's just phenomenal playing in front of your home supporters. It's just going to be amazing for her, and it was an amazing experience for me.
You guys really were trailblazers for that, weren't you? And I think that a lot of what you guys set the bar for has just come to fruition for the young ladies' opportunities today.
Yeah, I think when I played, it was a completely different environment. We were paying to play, and towards the start of my career, and then towards the end, our trips were actually getting paid. So I think, I just call it that we were a chapter in a book, in the Matildas book, and these players will go down as their own chapter, and I'm sure in the future there'll be further chapters come.
Well, your chapter was very, very important. 62 caps, 20 goals over a long period of time. Sharon Black, you are an absolute champion. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys, and go the Tillies.
Yeah, that's
well
right. Keep warm up on that
Tomorrow
grandstand,
night.
mate. Tomorrow night she is on, and we thank Sharon, and it's all thanks because she's a pal of the show now. She's been on a couple of times, and when you want that special drop, trust your pals to have it. I called in the other day, saw Jamie had a bit of a yarn. I was looking for a particular line item, and I got it. I'm back on it. Parafield Airport Liquor. It's home of all the hardest fine wines, beers and spirits. Yep, life's better with your pals.
Yes, we love beautiful crowd building here, no question about that. Just looking towards the Riverbank stand, and I can see Curnow out there and Mackay. Yes. They just don't miss in the warm-up. Let's hope they miss during the game. Generally, that's the case. If you miss in the warm-up, you don't miss one during the game. The weather here is exquisite, I must say.
Get on the bus,
I've had a little look. Yeah, no, come on in. Rug up. Yeah. But it's not going to rain. You've heard it from me here first. Yeah. I've said it at the start of the show. I've looked at the forecast. I've looked at the bomb forecast. It will not rain. It's going to be a classic game. Cannot. Oh, yeah, there you go. Hey, I've got a quick stat before we break and go towards the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah.
There's one team that hasn't had a debutant this year. Who is it?
One team.
No. There's 18 AFL teams. There's one team that hasn't debuted a player.
I'm trying to think if Port has.
They haven't. Well, it's you.
It's Port, yeah.
Because
they had the new guys come in, but none of them were. They'd already played AFL, so it's Port.
Correct.
Good stat, like it.
Well, it doesn't mean anything.
Put it in the book, Rowey.
Just throw it out there, Sammy.
Put it in the book.
Put it in the book.
Time for the 6 o'clock news. We're 1 hour away from Port Adelaide and Carlton.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop Real Estate. The past quarter has set the stage for a fierce property market.